In the early hours of June 13, 2025, Israel launched a daring strike on Iran, targeting its nuclear ambitions and military leadership. But what most people don't know is that Iran's response could be the spark that ignites a regional war. And if you miss this story, you might not see the full picture of how it could impact your world. Imagine waking up to the sound of explosions, not knowing if your home will be next. That's the reality for millions in the Middle East today. The tension between Iran and Israel has reached a boiling point, and the recent events are a stark reminder of how fragile peace is in this region. For years, these two nations have been locked in a shadow war, covert operations, proxy battles, and escalating rhetoric. But on June 12, 2025, everything changed. Israel decided it was time to act, launching what they called a preemptive strike against Iran's nuclear facilities and military leadership. Why now? What pushed Israel to take such a drastic step? It's not just about Iran's nuclear program. It's about survival, power, and the shadow of past conflicts. Since October 2023, over 55,000 Palestinians have lost their lives in Gaza, a tragedy that has fueled anger across the Arab world. Iran has long positioned itself as a defender of Palestinian rights, using this cause to rally support and justify its regional policies. For Israel, Iran's support for groups like Hamas and Hezbollah, combined with its nuclear ambitions, is an existential threat they can't ignore. But here's what most people get completely wrong. This isn't just about Iran and Israel. It's about the entire region and the global powers that have stakes in it. The United States, Russia, China, they're all watching closely, each with their own interests and alliances. So, as you sit here watching this, ask yourself, how does this affect you? The Middle East is a powder keg, and if it explodes, the repercussions will be felt worldwide, from oil prices to international security. Comment I'm in if this changes how you think about the situation. Let's dive into what happened. On June 12, 2025, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, its first direct military strike on Iranian soil since the Iran-Iraq War. The operation was massive. Over 200 aircraft dropped more than 330 munitions on approximately 100 targets in 5 waves. It wasn't just airstrikes. Israel also employed sabotage and cyber attacks, making this a multifaceted assault. The targets were carefully chosen: nuclear enrichment facilities like Natanz in Esfahan province, military installations in Tehran, and even the residences of high-ranking officials. Among the casualties were top Iranian military leaders: Major General Mohammad Bagheri, Chief of Staff of the Iranian Armed Forces; Major General Hossein Salami, Commander-in-Chief of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC); and Ghulam Ali Rasid, Commander of the Qatam al-Anbiya Central Headquarters. Nuclear scientists Faridun Abbasi and Mohammad Mediterranchi were also killed. Ali Shamkhani, a key advisor to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was critically injured and later died. But Iran didn't take this lying down. Within hours, they retaliated by launching over 100 drones toward Israel. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei vowed severe punishment for Israel, stating that the Zionist regime would face a bitter and painful fate. Armed Forces spokesperson Abul Fazl Shekarki warned that Israel would pay a heavy price and should await a strong response. Iran also closed its airspace, including Imam Khomeini International Airport, signaling the gravity of the situation. The human cost is staggering. In Tehran alone, over 50 civilians were injured, including women and children. In Gaza, the Palestinian death toll has surpassed 55,000 since October 2023, with UNICEF reporting that more than 50,000 children have been killed or injured. These numbers are not just statistics, their lives shattered by conflict. Internationally, reactions have been mixed. The United States has stood by Israel, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio stating that while the U.S. was not involved, Israel acted in self-defense. However, some U.S. politicians, like Senator Jack Reed, criticized the strikes as reckless escalation. Saudi Arabia condemned the attacks as violations of international law, while China and Russia called for restraint, wary of broader instability. But here's something you might not have considered. While the world focuses on the military aspects, the real story might be about shifting alliances and geopolitical chess. Who benefits from this escalation? And who stands to lose the most? As we wrap up this breaking news update, let's reflect on what we've learned. The Iran-Israel conflict has escalated to a new level, with direct military engagements that could have far-reaching consequences. Israel's strike on Iran was a bold move to neutralize a perceived existential threat, while Iran's drone retaliation shows it's not backing down. But beyond the headlines, this conflict is part of a larger narrative. It's about power, influence, and the struggle for dominance in the Middle East. It's also about the human cost: thousands of lives lost, families torn apart, and communities devastated. For you, the viewer, this means staying informed and understanding the complexities at play. It's easy to take sides, but the truth is often more nuanced. The path to peace, if there is one, will require diplomacy, understanding, and a willingness to see beyond the immediate conflict. Before we go, let's consider the economic ramifications. The Middle East is a crucial region for global oil supplies, and any disruption can send shockwaves through world markets. Already, oil prices have spiked, with Brent crude jumping by $5 per barrel. If the conflict escalates, we could see further increases, leading to higher gas prices and inflationary pressures worldwide. Shipping routes through the Strait of Hormuz could also be affected, as Iran controls one side of this vital passage. So, what can you do? Stay engaged, question the narratives presented to you, and remember that behind every statistic, there are real people affected. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis on global events. Comment below. What are your thoughts on this conflict? Do you think it will lead to a larger war, or will there be a resolution?